why you need friends with benefits, Zoe.
No! Oh my god, I'm not doing that.
Then you're just...
Hi friends, welcome back to the channel. I'm with Sab again. We are doing another episode of Let's Talk Love, and today is all about relationships. So if you haven't caught the previous episodes, they'll be linked down below, and one leads into another, so be sure to check them out. And without further ado, let's get started. All right guys, so relationships. Today we're talking all about relationships, and right off the bat we had a lot of questions about dating someone from a different country, and this is something that we've both done.
Actually, always. I've dated a couple people from South Africa, one person from America, so does that really count? But they lived in Germany.
They were worldly.
They were worldly. Very worldly. And you?
Italians. I think that's about it. Like, I've gone on dates with American, but like I'd say dated, gone on a few dates with Italians, and that's about it. Italians,
I would say
Canadians.
like dating Americans is kind of like no different.
Yeah, Canadians and Americans are very similar.
Very similar.
But you definitely run into major cultural differences. Like, what would be some of the big cultural differences from dating South Africans?
We actually dated an American from the same place too.
Oh yeah, we did.
Cultural differences, everything. First of all, they're raised in all boys, all girls schools. That's very different. They have maids. First of all, their mums are very involved. You gotta keep things tidy because they're used to a tidy house and this and that, and their cooking skills probably, they've never cooked for themselves.
You know how to cook.
I know how to cook. I always cooked. They know how to like barbecue really well.
Okay.
Yeah, they're big into meat.
I would say the big differences in Italian, like language barriers. I dated a guy and we only spoke Italian, and that was challenging sometimes because I don't know if we've been lost in translation. But I'd say like cultural differences is Italians like to go out late. Like our dates would be from 9 or 10 at night, go out for dinner, go out for drinks, like hang out into Trastevere until like 4 a.m. And that is not me, Sap, you know me.
No.
I'm sleeping so early. Like, I'd have fun and I didn't really remember like what time it was because we were just having fun, meeting people, but it's different. It's not what I'm used to, and it's not really what I would prefer.
No, I want my sleep.
Okay, so committing. What gets you to commit?
I think we both used to be like quick to commit, and now we're not because we've been like, not burned, but just like
had our experiences.
You've experienced it. You go, oh, I've always committed way too quick, and then you get in too deep, and then next thing you've like hurt somebody's feelings.
I've been in a relationship, long-term relationship, in like 4 years. That's a long time.
You obviously have commitment issues, so.
I think I just know what I want. Yeah, I'm picky, but like I really haven't opened myself up until 2018. Like I was very much focused on myself and my career and moving to Rome and staying in Rome, that I'd say yes to dates randomly if I got asked out on them. I didn't pursue or put myself out there on the apps until Anastasia gave me the whole like push. But yeah, I don't know, committing, it's gotta be what I'm looking for. I know what I'm looking for.
And like the person needs to kind of like initiate that commitment, I would say.
Yeah.
But like at this point in my life, I'm not ready to commit.
So that leads into this other question we had is relationships, like fun relationships on mutual terms, friends with benefits.
I would say it's totally doable.
You have to be at a very good like mindset for something like that to work.
It's not even that you can't like them too much, it's that you can't like open yourself up fully to them, because if you do, like somebody's gonna get hurt. So you have to like maintain a distance while still doing it so that you could like part ways at any point.
But see, you can do that and I can't.
Right.
I'm an affectionate person. If I was choosing to like engage in that with someone, I would like them. I can't kiss a guy if I'm not feeling a spark.
Yeah, and you know what else comes with friends with benefits is like you have to be ready for them to hook up with somebody else and be okay with that. And so that's like what's hard, I think, is like you're like, oh well, we have this, and then if they're gonna be with somebody else, and I'm a jealous person, but I can also go with the out of sight out of mind. Just don't put it in my face. I don't want to know about it, and then it's fine, because for me to do that to them, I feel nothing. As long as whoever you're hanging out with on the side, you just don't really care for them.
But it also has to be like a mutual understanding. Like I know people who are in open relationships and who have experimented with that, and it works for them because they're all on the same page.
Yeah, exactly. You need to be very open and talk
very
about
open.
it.
Communication is everything.
You like say it because you got to get out.
But I think when I've gotten myself into these situations, it wasn't like a mutual understanding of friends with benefits. It's like, are we dating here? And before you know it, something's been going on for like a while and you're
like confused.
You're confused because you don't feel like there's a potential now to engage into an actual long-term relationship because you've kind of let this period go on for too long.
To be determined, friends.
To be determined.
But I think it can work. Not for Zoe.
Yeah. We talked about this too. It's a stage in your life. I think it's something that, like, if you're dating and if you're having all different types of experiences, like let's say through your 20s,
it's good for you. Like, I think it makes you a strong person because you like learn to be like
and
okay
you
with
learn, yeah, you learn what you're okay with, you learn what you're not okay with, and you learn more about like communicating your feelings.
And you never feel like trapped. I always get that feeling where I feel trapped or I want to like break the boundaries, but there's no boundaries, so you can kind of do what you want. And if you like continue to hang out with that person, I think that says a lot. You obviously have days where you're like, no, I'm done with this, but that's fine.
Yeah, you're good at stuff. Like, what are you looking for to commit to?
Loyalty, but I've never been cheated on or like had anyone do anything wrong to me, so maybe like that's not what I need, because obviously like it doesn't mean that much to me, but I don't know.
I think like the more and more that you date and you have these experiences, you are in search of a feeling.
It's like when you don't want to hang out with anyone else. I think that's when you commit. When you're like, I am fully done, I don't want to go out, I don't want to meet anybody else, I'm like fully obsessed with this person.
But see, this is me on a crush.
Yeah.
It's like if I have a crush on someone,
right,
and I say go on a date, like this happened to me last week, there's just nothing. Like I can't. I have to pursue my spark first.
Right, you've got to like let it fizzle a bit before
Yeah, I've always just only ever liked one person at a time. Have you ever liked more than one person at a time?
Actually, I've liked more than one person at a time.
I think I've had feelings.
But there's always one that you prioritize.
Yes.
And I think that's what the friends with benefits thing for me. I need to be the priority. I don't care if there's others, but like there's a tier. So like I have that too. Like I've got 1, 2, whoever, say you got 3, 4. I mean, whoa.
But that's when communication is everything when you're in an open relationship like that.
Yeah.
You have to communicate. So the next question is friends becoming more. I think people are wondering if that works.
I think we're both the same, where like we said, the spark is like kind of instant, but we've both kind of gone there, but it's never worked out. But I would say some people need that. Like my little sister was a good friend that she didn't like for years and years and years, and now she's like so in love with him. And I like look at her and her personality and go, that's what she needs, because she needs to feel like safe with somebody and totally comfortable with somebody before she can even like them. Whereas I'm like the opposite. I like them before I know them, and then when I get to know them, I'm like, just kidding.
I'm like your sister, where like my long-term relationships, let's say, we're friends first. And I dated a guy he was my friend first. We were neighbors, basically, like lived down the street from each other. This is my high school boyfriend, when I thought I was gonna marry. But we dated for 5 years. It was a pretty good relationship, I'd say, like, but he was my best friend, and I think like that's also something that I am looking for in a relationship.
Oh yeah.
Is
I want to do like everything with that person.
I want to do everything with that person, and I need to test the waters before, like test the waters as in our compatibility, our conversations, a lot before I'm gonna engage in a relationship. And I think that's probably why I have not been in a relationship or like a long-term one. It's because I can date, but I want to establish this partnership vibe, because that's what is important to me, and that's what I will open up to.
Maybe that's why you need friends with benefits, Zoe.
No! Oh my god, I'm not doing that.
Then you're just like friends for a bit, you know? Like you actually get to know the person as like a maybe friend.
Well, like, but this is the thing. I could do friends with benefits, but I would consider that the dating period before the relationship.
Right.
Because if I'm gonna be friends with benefiting with someone, they can't be seeing someone else if I'm trying to become into a relationship.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So you're looking to become into one. You can only do that if you don't want one. Yeah.
And we spoke about this too yesterday, is that I only plan on getting married once.
Oh yeah.
And anyone who I'm going to engage into a relationship with, like a long-term relationship, you're giving them the opportunity to marry you. So that's why I said I need to spend time, have conversation, exactly like your little sister. Like I need to make sure that if I'm going to become in a relationship with this person, there is that, especially now being 27, my late 20s, my god, that is coming to that time where you're considering marriage, right? Like down the line with someone.
Down the line.
Down the line, yeah.
Way down the line. Well, it's different, yeah. Like,
yeah.
I won't engage in a long-term relationship right now because of that. I don't want to get married, and I don't want that right now.
friends becoming more?
Yeah, I would say that it's hard. I would say that I don't think I can do it. I tried, and like I just found that like the sexual attraction was never fully there. If I'm like not all over them at the beginning, I think dependent on the person.
Yeah, whereas I said I think that's where I am the same as your sister. I have a spark, and I know because if there's a guy that I'm friends with, I know like that there's a spark, but I might not even discuss it. I get to know them, I keep it to myself,
Right.
and you see if it grows. If it grows for me, I become more and more like infatuated and like and then eventually in love.
Yeah. I feel like those are probably the best relationships.
So getting back together with an ex.
I think you're like the only one that's ever really done that. I'll ride it out till it's done. It depends on the terms that you break up.
My first boyfriend, the long-term 5-year one, we broke up for a whole year, saw other people in that year, didn't really ever cross paths, and then a year later ran into each other or something and decided to revisit the relationship. And when we got back together for that 1 year, it was better than the relationship was in the prior years because we took time to reflect. I think we recognized what we had, and we just became more confident in ourselves and got to know ourselves a little bit better because we dated when we were like 15 to like 20. And that's like molding years for you. We dated for only a year, but when it was over, it was for sure over. But I think if we didn't get back together, part of me would have still always wondered a little bit.
I think I've actually ended every relationship saying, maybe one day we'll get back together. Because it's always ended kind of on like, I need to be free, I'm young.
Do you believe that though, or do you just say it to comfort them?
I think like I kind of believe it. I think that like I sabotaged the relationship because that is how I felt. But then as soon as you are free from them, you almost just like forget about them. Like you're sad when you first break up, but it doesn't last long and then you move on.
I think I'm at this point now where if I were to date someone and break up with them now, there's no chance that I would get back together just because I know, like I told you guys, I know what I'm looking for.
Yeah, different now. But when you're young,
when you're young, it's an experience to be had. Yeah. And I know like one of my best friends, she got back together with her ex after like years of being apart.
Oh yeah.
And they have the most incredible relationship now.
And they're married.
They're married. And it's beautiful so and like it's so perfect. It depends on who you are and what the relationship was like and what you chose to work on while you spend that time apart.
Yeah. Like why you broke up. I think that's like one of the biggest things. If they're crazy, they're gonna be crazy again.
Yeah.
You need to break up, not for compatibility reasons. It needs to be like something else.
Totally. And guys, that brings us to the end of this episode. In the next episode, we're talking all about breakups, letting a guy down easy, when the spark fades, falling out of love, all that good stuff. Hope you guys are liking the series so far. If you are, don't forget to give us a thumbs up and subscribe, and we'll be seeing you tomorrow. Bye!